Am I right in understanding that every single country signed up to reducing the amount of gas they use by 15%?
Unfortunately, the unity was not that total. The only one who didn't agree was Hungary. It's very unfortunate, but all other member states agreed that the voluntary consumption reduction and if needed in an emergency situation, then compulsory energy saving target of 15% is acceptable, is something that we more or less can agree.
Well, unlike Germany, Poland has long argued against reliance on Russian gas. It's building a pipeline for supplies from Norway that will be operational in October, and its storage is already 96% full. I asked Paweł Jabłoński, who's Minister at the Polish Foreign Affairs Ministry, what he made of today's EU deal.
We are all in favour of European solidarity. At the same time, however, we should never lose out of sight the fact that some countries have been warning of the situation and have been much better prepared. And it's worth to also take that into account as we progress to avoid similar situations in the future.
Okay, because Poland is pretty well prepared?
We have been preparing for many, many years. We've been very open about this, that increasing energy dependency on Russia is the wrong way to go. Unfortunately, many other countries didn't heed these warnings. Now we are all paying the price.
Okay, but so if a country does run very low and ask Poland, look, can you help us out? What will Poland say?
We are always ready to help those in need. We also encourage our partners to use other resources that are at their hand. For example, when it comes to Germany, our largest partner, our largest neighbor to the west, it is obvious that the natural gas situation is very challenging. But at the same time, we simply cannot understand why in these difficult circumstances, Germany doesn't wish to change its policy vis-à-vis nuclear energy, for example. This would help them a great deal, and we are encouraging them to re-examine their approach. And in case of Germany, this decision to abandon nuclear power over a decade ago, this was actually one of the reasons why we are more dependent on Russian gas as a continent. Now it's a good time to reflect on this and amend these mistakes.
Are there specific things that you are asking the people of Poland to do with regard to gas?
We are willing to provide the gas to all households in the first place and also to business at the capacity that it is required. We have quite large reserves. Our reserves, our storages are almost 100% full, some even beyond the 100% threshold, but there is still some margin over that. So we are relatively prepared. And we hope that this will be sufficient.
So from the sounds of it, you don't need the Polish people really to make that many changes?
At this point, we don't, because we have been preparing ourselves for this many years. So in our situation, we are not in fear that we will be in shortage of natural gas. This is the result of the policy that we implemented several years ago to invest in LNG terminal, to invest in another pipeline from Norway to Denmark, the Baltic Pipe, that will be operational in September, October. So we are increasing also our national output, and we can only suggest to other countries to start doing these things already now. It will take time, but it will be certainly positive in 2-3 years.
Given all that you're saying, do you think Germany, if it runs short of gas, only has itself to blame?
Well, certainly the German energy policy was misguided in many ways. The whole idea behind building Nord Stream, and not just Nord Stream 2, but also Nord Stream 1, was to create more dependency on Russian gas. Germany neglected the need to build LNG terminals. We have advised them to do it, and now they are preparing for doing this. This is a very good decision that we already see this shift. We see that the new German government has taken some steps to change the situation. And we hope that our German partners will actually follow our steps of some other countries that have been more prepared.
From what you're saying, you don't need to ask the Polish people to do anything yet. But the terms of the deal are that countries reduce their gas consumption by 15%. So will you actually abide by those terms?
We will certainly be ready to do everything that ensures that there is enough gas for everyone, and that we also have some reserves to help others out.
Okay, but that's different, though. That could be different.
It could be different, but we are actually reducing our consumptions of fossil fuels. This also amounts to that.
Okay, but will you, because this deal is that member states agree to reduce their gas demand by 15%. It doesn't sound like, I mean, it sounds like you agree with the ultimate aims of less dependence on Russian gas, but it doesn't sound like you've agreed with the actual terms of this deal to reduce gas demand by 15%.
Well, we believe that reducing the gas demand should be happening in a way that leads to substitution of gas with other sources, not by reducing production or lowering temperature in households. This should be last resort. This should be only used when there is no availability of other resources. If we have such availability, as it is now with nuclear power, we should always use them and introduce such reductions only as a last resort.
Okay, so just briefly then, what do you